Okay, Bismillah. Let's get started. Okay, let's get started. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Okay, as we said yesterday, guys, we told the first concept in this lesson, how to. We talk how to what, guys? How to integrate indefinite integral. How to integrate by using indefinite integral. Yesterday we said if we have the okay, Khaled Al-Jabari. Okay, we said, guys, if we have x to the power of 2 dx, okay, we can find the integral of this part, x squared by
adding 1 to the power and dividing by the
x, by
new
adding
power.
1 to the power and dividing by the new power, and then add plus c. Okay. One more question. If we have the integral of cosine x dx equal, the integral of cosine x dx is equal to, what's the derivative of a function gives a cosine? Because the derivative of sine is cosine, so the integral of cosine is sine. So the integral of what? Of cosine is sine x and then plus c. And I said for you guys to study this table here, this table below. I would like you to study it well. Table 4.2.1. There is all rules you have to know about integration and the relation and the differentiation. Okay. We studied three properties. First property here, this is the first property, which is when we have a constant before any function, we just move through an integral sign and then find the integral of the function. عادي جدا. Like the integral of 3x squared dx. You can do it easily as 3 and then find the integral of x squared dx, which is equal to 3 and then integrate عادي x squared as x to the power of 3 over 3 and then plus c. Okay. The second property, an antiderivative of a sum is the sum of the antiderivatives or the integrals. And we said, for example, if we have x to the power of 5 plus x to the power of 7 dx, it's simply x to the power of 6 over 6 plus x to the power of 8 over 8 plus c.
Assalamu alaikum.
The third property, also for subtraction, for the difference. If we have the same function, x to the power of 5, but minus here x to the power of 7 dx, it's going to be here x to the power of 6 over 6 minus x to the power of 8 over 8 and then plus c. This all for yesterday. And we solve these questions. Yes.
What is C?
C is the constant of integration. Constant of integration. Do you remember the differentiation? Remember the differentiation?
No.
What's the derivative of What's the derivative of x to the power of 3? What's the derivative of x to the power of 3?
Yes.
يعني d over dx of x to
Yes.
the power of 3.
X over 4.
أنا بتكلم عن الدerivative. يبقى 3x to the power of 2.
Yes.
Yes. 3x to the power of 2. Right?
Okay.
And you already
Okay.
have 3 here, like this. So you're gonna cancel it out and gives us the original one. Okay? The original one
Point.
is 3x squared. خلاص يبقى it's 3x squared as this one, as the original function.
يا مستر don't.
اوكي طيب لو قلنا دي over dx مستر 4x cubed minus 7. يلا find the derivative. It gotta be 3x to the power of 2 only. والderivative of the negative 7 معروفة بزيرو.
Yes.
That's why ممكن برضه the derivative of x to the power of 4 sorry x to the power of 3 خلينا نقول the same بس minus 1 minus 10
Okay.
minus any number gives also the same 3x squared. فلما تيجي تعمل الانفرس اوبريشن اللي هي العكس اللي هو الانتجريشن the integral of 3x squared gives cancel out 3 with 3 gives x cubed plus c. This c represents بقى represents mean any constant. Any represents the negative 10, represents the negative 10, represents the negative 7, represents 0 here. It can be minus 0 here. The c هنا represents any constant after x cubed minus 10, x cubed minus 7, x cubed minus 0. That's why we put c each time after we do our integration.
Okay.
Okay. Next page. Also, guys, we solved these two questions yesterday, but I prefer to repeat them again for our friends. Who can solve this question? Simply
and 4 outside of the integral sign,
L because it's constant, and then the integral of
sin x dx.
dx. So
Then 4 sin x sin cosine
excellent.
plus
That's
c.
what plus c. So you have to know now, guys, that the integral of cosine is what is sine. The integral of cosine is sine. Letter B.
Can I do it, please?
Yes. Okay. The integral of x plus x squared. That's all directly.
Yes, it's x to the power of 2 over 2 plus x to the power of 3 over x over 3, I mean, plus c.
Let's see. Very good. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Yes. Number 3. Example 3, guys. How to do it by using our properties when we have constants and we have many terms or polynomial like this. So I would like to do it on only one step. The basic fact is to separate each term alone and then find the integral. But you can directly integrate each term and add the results together على طول. Like what? 3x to the power of 7 over 7 directly. Don't split them. Don't split them out. You have to write them as 3x to the power of 6 dx, and then minus 2 the integral of x squared dx, and then plus 7 the integral of x dx, and then plus the integral of 1 dx.
راح تطلع 3x باور 7 over 7
Yes,
minus 2x باور 3 over 3
yes,
plus 7x squared over 2
excellent.
plus c.
Plus, no. Here's the integral of
Plus
of
x.
1. The integral of 1, or the integral of dx only, is x.
أيوة.
The integral of, if it's 9, 9x. If it's 10, 10x. Then plus what? The c. Okay, let's take one more example. If we have, guys, 4x to the power of 6 minus 25 x to the power of 4 plus 12x squared minus x plus 7. And we would like to find the integral or the antiderivative of this function. Yes?
4x power 7 over 7
Okay. 4x to the power of 7 over 7.
minus 25x
Just add 1 to the exponent and divide by the new exponent. It was 6 and now it's a 7. And divide by 7 type. Now 25
x power 5 over 5
over 5. And
plus
then
12x cubed over 3
12x cubed over 3
minus x squared over 2
minus x squared over 2
plus 7x plus c.
plus 7x. Yes, plus 7x plus c.
25 over 5 is simplified.
Yes, we can simplify only 25 over 5. So we
Also
can
4
write it.
over 3
Yes, 4 over 7, x is 7, minus 5.
minus 5x power 5 plus 4x cubed
Here simplify 4x cubed minus 1 half x squared plus 7x plus c. This is your what? Final answer. This is your final answer. Thank you. Okay, guys. Do you have any question till now?
لا والله easy.
Easy, right? Okay. Let's move on to question number 4. Let me ask. Let me ask Elias Badran.
Yes, Mister.
Okay, Elias. In the first question we have
Sin x over sin squared x.
okay, cosine over sine squared x for the division. First of all, we don't have any way to integrate the quotient. In the differentiation, we said we're gonna use the quotient rule and the product rule for the product of the functions. But here, we will not be able to do it. You have to work first on the function you have. Cosine x over sine squared x. Yes. In letter A, we have to use some trigonometric identities, some trigonometric identities, يعني sine squared. Or you can split them out as you like. You can write it as the product of two fractions, right?
Yes.
Sine and sine, and we have cosine
Yes, sir.
x. Okay, yes, sir.
Or cotangent and cosecant.
Can't we just reverse the quotient rule?
How reverse the quotient? The one we studied in differentiation, reverse it.
Okay, let's use a general example for x and y, for example, instead.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and then let's reverse it.
X over y.
X over y.
Yeah. Or
X
x.
over dy.
Yes. If it's x over y, it would be a big problem because you have y here. Okay, so
Any
let
two
us
values,
say,
I mean. Yeah.
yes, x over sine x.
To
be
get the
in-
quotient rule, then it's x. It was x times. I really don't remember. It's, 1 minute. X times cosine x. So x times cosine x.
And you will find
Minus.
the derivative here. You will find the
Yes.
derivative of x over sine x
Sine x.
dx. And to find the derivative of x over sine x, you have to use the quotient rule, which is
Yes, so-
the u is x and the u prime is 1, and the v is sine x, and the v prime
Cosine
is
x.
cosine x. And then
Okay.
here, the
X
integral
cosine
of
x.
yes,
X cosine x minus sine x over
u
sine
prime
x
v,
over 1.
u prime v minus v prime u over v squared.
Yes.
Prime v minus v prime u over v squared. We are trying only that. So the integral of sine x,
Sine x.
Sine x, 1 times sine x is sine x. And then minus
Yes.
cosine x times x, which is x
Cosine x.
cosine x. Over what? Over sine x
Over.
squared. So
Okay.
this will be your final answer because the integral of the derivative,
Yes.
the integral of the derivative is what? Is the function itself. Yes.
Okay. If you want to integrate, we
But
can
no
reverse
need,
it now.
no need to do this all because
Yes, mister.
because
It is
here it's
just
simple.
put cotangent times
Yes.
cosecant.
Yes, we
And,
can split it out. We can split
Yes.
it out, and we have cosine, right? X, and we have sine squared. You can write it as sine x times what? Times sine x, and here
Times
is
1
over
over.
1.
And this means cotangent times cosecant. And from the table, it is equal to negative cosecant plus c.
Yes, yes. The first one here, the first part, which is cosine x over sine x, gonna give us what?
Cotangent.
Cotangent x. And the other one, which is 1 over sine x equals
Cosecant.
cosecant x dx. Okay, so as you said here from the previous table, here, table 4.2.1, you have from this table the integral of cotangent cosecant is equal to,
Negative cosecant x plus c.
yes, negative cosecant x plus c, this one up here, guys. The integral of cosecant x, cotangent x, is equal to negative cosecant x plus c. We are here.
Yes.
So it's simply equals to negative cosecant x plus c. That's it. Okay, guys. Bye. Okay, for letter B, who can solve letter B? Who can think how to use trigonometry or how to use any other way to solve this question? Okay, in letter B, we have a common denominator here. We have t to the power of 4. We have t to the power of 4 is a common denominator. So we can split out this fraction into the difference of two fractions. So it's going to be t to the power of 2 over t to the power of 4 minus 2t to the power of 4 over t to the power of 4. Right? When we have two fractions like 1 over 2 minus 3 over 2, we can write them as 1 minus 3 over 2. So if I give you this fraction 1 minus 3 over 2, you can split out your fraction into
فينا
the
نعمل
difference of
minus
two fractions.
powers.
No, how to subtract? Here in the first fraction, yes, we can. Sure. In the first fraction, so you can
power negative 2
cancel it out here. We still have power 2, so it's 1 over
t square او
minus.
t power negative 2
Okay. And the other fraction here,
2 t خلاص
2, how to cancel that out.
ايوه
So it's 2
2 alone صح
dt. The integral of the first part, as you said, we have to write it as the integral of t to the power of negative 2 dt minus the integral of 2 dt. The first one, what's the integral of t to the power of negative 2 dt?
negative 1 over 1 يعني 1 over 2
Add 1 to the exponent and subtract 1 from the exponent. Add 1
divided by the exponent
and divide by negative 2 plus 1. Yes, adding 1 gives us what? Negative 1.
over
Yeah.
negative 1
Over negative 1.
And divide by the new.
Yes. And here we have 2. What's the integral of? 2t.
X.
Yeah, 2t, because we are integral for t. Plus the constant of integration c. You can finally write your final step in simplest form, which is negative 1 over t minus 2t plus c. Okay? Negative 1 over t, negative 1 over t minus 2t plus c. Any questions? Do you have any question, guys? And the last question, letter B. We split out the fraction into the difference of two fractions.
مستر عادي شوف الفاينل انسر.
Okay. The final answer is negative 1 over t minus PowerPoint. Negative 1 over t minus 2t plus c.
طب مستر تي باور نيجاتيف 1 مو هي 1 اوفر تي؟
Yes. No, the final answer, t power negative 1, I wrote it as 1 over t. But we have negative 1 in the denominator, اللي هو النيجاتيف اللي برا.
نيجاتيف برا. اوكي.
Any questions? Is it clear, guys, for all? Okay, guys, next page. We will start here, guys, to find the integral of some questions. The first one, quick check exercise 4.2.
Negative 12.
The first one, function f is antiderivative of function f on an interval. F what for all x in the interval?
ايه
Hey guys, do you hear me?
Antiderivative.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. So function f is
Continuous.
if what?
If X is
If f is equal to f for all x in the interval.
If it's differentiable for all x in the interval. If it's what? Continuous and differentiable in what for all x in the interval. Number two, write an equivalent integration formula for each given derivative formula. D over dx of radical x. We know, come on guys, from the first term that the derivative of any radical,
1 over
the
2
derivative,
of the radical.
excellent, the derivative of radical x is, it's given here, 1 over 2 the radical, multiplied by the derivative of the inner function. The inner function here is x, so its derivative is 1, so it doesn't matter. It's 1 over 2 radical x. So the question is asking us here for finding the equivalent integration formula. يعني ترجع تكتب the integral 1 over 2 radical 1 over 2 radical x dx equals what, guys? The integral of the answer. Gonna give us the original.
انتجرال
روت لا مش روت.
روت اكس.
Yes, root x. Bravo. Plus what? Plus c.
That's it.
Yes, that's it. Question number 2, letter A. Question number 2, letter B.
Sir, can I give you the answer?
Yes, what's the answer in question?
Sine x. It's we were trying to find the integration. Sine x plus c.
Yeah, because the derivative of sine x is cosine x, so the integral of cosine x for x with respect to x is what? Is
Sine x plus c.
Plus c. Thank you. You are Khalid, right?
No, Mr. I'm Muhammad Zanni.
نسأل محمد حبيب. تمام.
Can I do 3A?
Okay, letter 3A, question 3A. Evaluate the integrals يلا مستر.
Yes, x to the power of 4 over 4 plus x to the power of 2 over 2 plus 5x
Yes.
plus c.
X to the power of 2 over 2. Excellent. Plus 5 what?
5x
X plus what?
plus c.
Plus C. Great. Great job. Thank you. Letter B.
6 squared تبقى 10x.
Mr. Faris Mata. يلا دكتور. Answer this question, please.
Okay.
Evaluate the integral.
10x.
Let's split it out secant squared x 4x dx minus the integral of cosecant x cotan x dx. Yes. It's Faris.
Okay.
What's the answer?
مستر صعب والله ما بعرف.
بس رايح اخذ
What's that?
الرولز اللي بالتيبل اتوقع.
Do you remember, guys, what function its derivative is secant squared x?
يعني مستر 3a I can solve it بس
Okay, Faris, no problem.
10x مستر.
10x.
10x. Why? Because the derivative of 10 is secant squared. So the integral of secant squared x is that. Minus the integral of cosecant cotangent.
Cosecant مستر.
Cosecant. Negative cosecant, and we have negative. Yes, we can move back to table 4.2.1. The integral of cosecant x cotangent x dx is equal to negative cosecant x plus c. Okay, it's a negative cosecant x plus c. So simply, I'm gonna write here where's the slide? Yes. Sorry, I'm gonna write here cosecant x, but negative, guys. Negative cosecant, negative, negative. And this all will be negative cosecant x, but negative by negative gives positive or plus cosecant x plus c.
Plus c.
Okay. So this is our final answer. So please ask me if you have any question. Any questions? Okay. Is it clear for you? Yeah, man.
Yes, Mr. Everything is clear. Thank you.
طاهر زياد خالد. Any questions? تمام طيب. Okay, let's move on, guys, to the next slide. We have exercise set 4.2, which is okay, guys. Here in the next slide, exercise 4.2, I would like to give you 2 minutes to solve these two questions. Yes, in each part, confirm that the formula is correct and state a corresponding integration.
But I don't think it's correct.
You don't think it's correct? Why? Which is what? Yes, Mr. Why it's not correct?
مستر نجرب نحلها
Till why? تعال نحلها. Which is d over dx of radical 1 plus x squared.
بعدين multiplied by
Correct, James.
نشوف نتأكد. 1 over 2 the root.
1 plus x squared multiplied 2x اللي هي derivative of the root.
أيوة, chain rule here multiplied by 2x. And then simplify.
Correct.
You can
Just cancel out.
simplify.
Keep the x up.
And keep x up, which is x over radical 1 plus x squared. It's asking each part confirm the formula is correct type and state corresponding integration formula. نقلبها الانتجريشن يعني نحولها للانتجريشن.
مستر
وارجعها زي الاولى
radical 1 plus x squared.
radical 1 plus x squared. If you want
أيوة
to
نرجعها زي
integrate it, we it's root 1 plus x squared صح؟
يعني بناخذ الفاينل انسر اللي هو x over radical 1 plus x squared dx and write the original function اللي هي اصلا انت عملت لها differentiation من شويه بس plus c. This is letter A. Okay.
ما راح نعملها انتي ديريفيتيف او انتجريت.
Here's the integrate. The
إحنا
integrate of
عملنا
the integrate of the answer.
x1 ولا الانسر لا.
The integrate of the answer gives the original function. بس انت طبعا احنا عملنا making sure that the formula is correct first. Yes, طلعت correct فعملت ال corresponding integration formula. In letter B, the derivative of third sine 1 minus x cubed equals x squared cosine 1 plus x cubed. I will check here, guys. Is it correct first or not? To confirm the formula, is it correct or not? What's the derivative of 1/3 sine 1 plus x cubed? We will find first the derivative of 1/3. Sorry, 1/3 and then sine 1 plus x cubed. 1/3 is constant, and then find d over dx
cosine
of sine 1 plus x cubed. Let's نجيب derivative. So we have 1/3. What's the derivative of sine? Cosine.
Cosine.
Cosine, same angle.
by
And then multiplied by,
The inner term.
squared
yes, multiplied by the derivative of the inner
3x.
function, 3x squared. 3x squared. And now cross out the 3 with the 3, and finally write your answer, which is x squared cosine
cosine
1 plus x cubed. يعني الكلام صحيح.
correct.
Yes.
يعني الكلام صحيح لأنه السؤال بيقول confirm that formula is correct and state the corresponding
Mr. But
integration.
isn't the derivative of 1 over 3 is like it's a constant, so
Constant, leave it outside.
طيب why did you leave it as 1 over 3?
We leave it as 1 over 3. It's not 1 over 3x. أنت بتفكر في ال product rule? No, it's 1 over 3 يعني number. It's constant. فبتطلعها برا زي أي. ما لها علاقة ب 1 over 3. Leave it outside. Constant. Okay? If it's 1 over 3x, product rule بقى وكده. U prime v plus v prime u. It's 1 over 3 ohm. Now write the corresponding integration formula. So باخد الانسر خالص النهائي اللي هو the final answer I have. X squared cosine 1 plus x cubed dx is equal to, because it's correct, يبقى 100% هتدينا the original function. 100% gonna give us the original function, which is 1/3 sine 1 plus x cubed. Okay, plus c. Any questions? So this all for letter B. The first step is to confirm that the differentiation is correct, and if it's correct directly, we use the theorem in the first page. States that if f of x is any antiderivative of f of x on an open interval, then for any constant c, the function f of x plus c is also an antiderivative on the interval. Okay. يعني لأن أنت طلعت إن الديريفيتيف of 1/3 sin 1 plus x cubed equals x squared cosine 1 plus x cubed، فأكيد الانتجريشن لل x squared cosine 1 plus x cubed هو ال equals 1/3 sin 1 plus x cubed. Okay. I think it's easy. If you have any question, ask, guys. Okay. We are discussing question by questions. In number 2, the exercises, in each part, confirm that the stated formula is correct by differentiation. By differentiating, يعني the integral x sin x dx, is it equal sin x minus x? يعني we have to differentiate which part, guys? To state that this formula is correct, we have to use into differentiation of because if we differentiate
x minus x
ايوه if we differentiate this part
gives us
وعطاء
the
it will give
integrated
us
part.
the integrated part x sin x. So let's find the integral the derivative of sin x minus x cosine x.
So أول شيء حنقسمها بارتين
Yes, the derivative of the first
minus the second.
minus the derivative of the second x cosine x. The derivative of the first, the derivative of sine is
Cosine.
Cosine.
sine, but the second part هيغلبنا شوية نعمل product rule. The u is x
U prime v prime u.
is 1. The v is cosine x
Cosine x v
and the v prime is
negative sine x.
negative sine x. This is also on the first term, the product rule. Up in bracket here and then u prime v minus v prime u plus u prime v plus v prime u, right?
Sine x
Plus
plus
multiply
negative
like
sine
this.
x squared
Yes. Then negative sine x times x.
x squared.
No.
ما بتصير؟
No.
لا 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 الاكس اللي جوه.
غير. طيب equal. We have cosine x and then multiply this negative by cosine x and multiply this negative by negative because this here is negative outside يطلع positive تاني x sine x. Cross out cosine with cosine and the final answer is x sine x. So now it's what? To confirm that the state form is correct? Yes, it's correct.
It's correct, yes.
X sine x and here x sine x. Yeah, so if we integrate x sine x it's gonna give us here sine x minus x cosine x. طبعا في سؤال اكيد في واحد بيسال نفسه بس مش راضي يقوله لي اللي هو مستر طب احنا في الانتجريشن هنعمل x sine x by using product rule وكده. What's the opposite of the product rule؟ في اسم كامل اسمه integration by parts. Integration by parts لأن I cannot here find directly the integral of x sine x لأن هما the product of two functions. فهناخده إن شاء الله اسمه integration by parts. أنا بشتغل اللي هو u v minus the integral of u dv. Okay, اسمه integration by parts. Okay. If we integrate x sine x, it's gonna give us sine x minus x cosine x. This is for letter A. Letter B, gonna be homework. Try to do it in your own. And also number 5, number 6, homework. And question 7.
So go back a second.
And 8. Okay. Yes, I'm gonna go back for a second. Again, your homework, guys, is question 2, letter B. If you'd like to take a screenshot quickly. And 5, 6, 7, 8 only. That's all for today. نبدأ نسخن كده شوي. يا شباب.
Okay, thank you.
بس ارجع بالله بس 5 6.
ترى بس عندنا حصة ثانية ترى.
5, 6. Okay. The last period, right? I'm gonna
Thank
bring a worksheet so inshallah. يلا السلام عليكم.
يعطيك العافية.
الله يحفظك.
مع السلامة.
مع السلامة.